Mr. Thomas, what does the EEOC do and what do you do as chairman of that group?
Well, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission was set up under the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We actually opened our doors in the summer of 1965. Our responsibility basically to see to it that there is no discrimination based on race, sex, national origin, religion, age, and handicap in the federal sector, in the employment arena. We also enforce the Equal Pay Act, and as I alluded to, the Age Discrimination and Employment Act. That is a full load, and that we cover employers with 15 or more employees in the private sector as well as state and local governments, and again, as I mentioned, in the federal government. Of course, that's more than 15, and there's no limitation there. We also have responsibility for affirmative action plans within the federal government and coordination of the whole equal employment opportunity effort within the federal government. So we have litigation authority.
You do take people into court, though?
Oh, we definitely do. We process the charges as we receive them. If we find that there is discrimination, we then try to conciliate the case as is required by statute. If we cannot conciliate cases in which we administratively find that there is discrimination, we go into federal district court. And last year we went into federal district court in more than 500 cases. That's the highest number in the history of the Commission, and I would suspect that we'll do even more this year. In state and local cases where a state and local government is involved, we can investigate those cases. We do go to court when it involves age discrimination, but in the other areas, race or sex, national origin, the Justice Department has the litigation authority, and the Justice Department would actually go into court.
In an article written in the February edition of the Atlantic Monthly about you, you were quoted as saying, when you get right down to it, successful blacks don't particularly like the kind of integration that whites have crafted for them in the past 30 years. Increasing numbers of middle-class blacks see integration simply as window dressing. Blacks may be present and visible, but only a few have any real power. Is that what you said? And
I can't remember whether that's what I said or what the author, Juan Williams, said, but I think the point is pretty much the same. I don't think anyone, including myself, would be opposed to there being desegregation in our society. Segregation was just wrong. I grew up under that, and that's nonsense. It's totalitarian. It's the kind of thing that we oppose in other countries. We oppose apartheid, what happens in the Soviet Union, etc. But when you start ordering people around based on race, I think you go just to the other side, where you expect that blacks have to be represented in schools in a certain percentage, or they have to be in neighborhoods in a certain percentage. Not that they can live any place that they choose, but rather that they must be represented, or our society isn't working properly. That's what I oppose. Same thing in college, universities.